Welcome to all the classic car enthusiasts. I've just been outside, it's snowing again, and it looks like it's going to snow tomorrow. I'm just going to do a quick little update on this bonnet and I'll let you see what I'm intending to do with it and how I'm putting it together for the guys that are interested in the E-Type stuff. Because it is a bit of a jigsaw, it's a bit of a Meccano set for big boys really. And I also need to clean the surfaces where it's going to be masticed or where it's going to be bonded to the centre panel of the bonnet. And I have a tool which I've shown on YouTube before. It's actually a sandblasting gun which you use from a bucket of, or a bag of shot, but it has a cover over it so you can do small areas at a time, dustless, basically using a hoover on it, attachment of a hoover, to suck the shot or the sand, the material back, and all you do is clean the surface. It takes quite a long time to do it, but it's a very clean way to do it in an environment in a garage like this because, you know, as you know, sandblasting is quite dusty and quite messy. And I need to clean these areas up before I can offer the bonnet up to use the mastic on it, and then we can sandblast it all in one go. So I was going to go down tonight and bring it up and show you the bits and pieces, but it's snowing again, unfortunately outside, so I'll have to use a snowblower in the morning. But I'll get it tomorrow, and my mystery guest is coming tomorrow night, and so on Tuesday morning or Tuesday, some part of the day, we'll make a video together, and I'll show this, or I might even put one up tomorrow. I'll see, but I'll pick the camera up and show you what I'm up to and how I'm intending to put it together. And if anybody's got any better ideas or can add something to it, then great. Then just make a comment, please. Just two quick things. There's a chap who I watch his videos all the time, and the channel's called Trev's Blog, not vlog with a B, blog, and it's Trevs, Trevs as in Trevor, Trev's Blog. Now this guy works for a company called Race and Restoration, I think is the name of the company he works for. He's a professional bodywork man, you know, but the work that he does is incredible. I mean, I've watched, he's just put up 4 videos back to back on tips and tricks for shrinking, for welding, for making panels, and this guy does videos of some of the panels he's done on some of the cars that this Race and Restoration company he works for, like Porsches and Ferraris and all kinds of stuff. But his vlog is really good, and this guy's knowledge is top notch, and some of the tips he can give you, this guy can give you much better tips than I ever could. So have a look in on that and subscribe to it, because his work is unbelievable, and some of the tips he gives you, and he goes right through it all, and he gives you some top tips. And lastly, before I pick up the camera, there's a gentleman from America called Bob. His channel is Mustang Bob, and he, I can't believe this, but him and his friends are rebuilding or restoring a Second World War medium bomber. I think it's a B-26 Marauder, and he's involved in it, he's in the team. I mean, you know, what we're doing in restorations, you know, sometimes it can be difficult, but can you imagine building an aeroplane, I mean a Second World War plane, and putting it back together? Absolutely amazing. But the reason I'm mentioning it is he's actually gone from the very first video I've ever made right up to now till this one tonight. He's watched them all. I can't believe it. Anyway, thank you for that, Bob. I do appreciate it, but God, it must have took you some time to get through that lot. Anyway, so I'll pick up the camera and I'll show you what we're up to, and we'll go from there. So, as you can see, I've got both these. The reason the Mini and the E-Type was out is because I had friends over at the weekend. We had 6 guests over from the Austrian Jaguar Club, and they wanted to have a look at the stuff. So they were going around looking at the car. You can see it's getting pretty manky now. Look, oh my God. It needs a good clean, a lot of dirt on that. Anyway, yeah, so to go over this bonnet, I'll let you have a look at what I'm thinking now. So the situation right now is I put these lines on where the 90-degree bends are on it to hold it to the other part of the bonnet, and these have to be masticed on. So what I might do, just as a guide, there's no point, I can't use them. What I might do is I might make a little cardboard cutout for this area so that when there are onto this stand over here, it fits in. Just to make sure. I mean, they were tacked in place and they weren't bonded anymore, so they probably weren't in the right place anyway. So I'll bring this tool up, and as I say, I'll show you how we can sandblast a big area down here so that when we bond them back on, but all this has to be repaired first, it's bent. So as you can see here, I've put a few other items on. So I've put the, you can see there I've put these edges on, and you can see they're all self-tapping screws that go through them. So I've put these edges on, just to, there would be an oval washer going there to spread the load across. You can see where one's been there. But obviously I've got to take all this off again. So the idea now is that this will be the area that bonds onto that centre panel that you've just seen. This is the piece on the inside, and these would be the bits that go on the wings. And you can see that piece lines up there. So this would go on the wing, and then you would bolt the wing to there. And you can see on this side, this one is actually needs repairing. So I'll repair this in the morning. You can see this piece when it goes up to here, and you can see that piece is missing. So I'll rebuild that. The other thing I'll do is I'll put this front scoop on, but I'll wait until my guest comes tomorrow because it's quite heavy to lift and hold it in the same place. My basic idea is to take this and move this off. I'll just put this on the ground for a second, excuse me. So my idea is to take this and turn it upside, or I'll just take this out a second. So the idea is I want to turn this, oh, they'll probably both come off. Yeah, the idea is I want to turn this, the other one will come off, I think. Yeah. So the idea is I want to turn that in that position. Hang on, I'll just put this in. Excuse me a second. So I'm going to turn it upside down like that, and then we're going to bring the bonnet up from underneath this centre panel. We're going to bring it up against it, and what I'm going to do is I'll put it on one of the hydraulic lifters I've got, so we can slowly bring it up into place, and then remark it and then put it on. But obviously we're probably going to have to put all the panels on to make that work. But that's the plan basically. So you can imagine that front scoop will be on there, and then we bring it up so it touches this piece, and then we'll know where we can put the mastic on. But I think what I'm going to have to do is put this bottom scoop on first to get it all on. You can see here it's still fairly poor, but that's all got to be beaten out anyway because there's a bit missing off it. But I'll straighten that up once I know how big the piece is. Anyway, so that's it. Tomorrow I'm going up to Vienna to pick up the mystery guest at night, and then you'll see them on sometime on Tuesday, on the Tuesday video I put up. So yeah, that's it for now. So catch you on probably on Tuesday. Take care and thanks for watching in, and bye for now. Bye.